So this message goes out to pretty much the world, but mostly America and Britain. I've written about this quite comprehensively on my X page and everywhere else I can, and it seems to not take enough hold. So I'm going to have to do it in video. I hope it makes some kind of impact and maybe even change one leftist's mind when they say they don't give a shit about what I'm saying before they've heard what I have to say. Political correctness are killing the world right now. Combine that with what First Amendment and free speech wherever in Europe or in Britain or in America represents, and you have a deadly combination. It allows everyone from third world countries or anywhere in the world, when they enter into a European or America or British country, what happens is the moment they step in there, they enforce political correctness because it has become pretty much law everywhere. So now you think to yourself, all right, they come into the country, and we're talking about mostly Muslims and Somalians and Nigerians and Ghanaians and wherever they come from in Africa. And they come into a Western country and they lean on that. They lean on political correctness, and then they get supported and underwritten by the First Amendment. Think about this nicely. Let me read what political correctness says. Political correctness, I'm going to read it, says it refers to the use of language, policies, behaviors designed to avoid offending, marginalizing, or discriminating against groups or people, especially based on gender, race, sexual orientation, or disability. It promotes inclusive, very important, inclusive, respectful language, but it is often used pejoratively to imply excessive or forced ideological conformity. It's a lot to break down there, but I'm going to try and shorten it as much as possible. Basically, what political correctness means is you cannot offend anyone. You cannot say anything that offends anyone. You cannot do anything that offends anyone. So when a Muslim or an alien comes into your country, whether illegal or legal, and he steps into the foot of your country, and you pinpoint him or her or them as a group for doing something wrong that's against the actual original foundation of the country and the culture without assimilating to it, the moment that happens, they jump onto free speech. They jump into freedom of expression, which is the First Amendment. So let's quickly go through the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment or religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. So now, you take the First Amendment and you take political correctness, and it's unlimited. So whoever you are, if you want to step into the United States, if you want to step into Britain, you have the right, pretty much 100% the same rights as a citizen of that country immediately. Simply because you can be called a refugee, you can be called an alien, you can be called a legal alien or an illegal alien. The moment you're an illegal alien, what then happens is you start leaning on the human factor, the humanity factor, which then comes back to political correctness. You can't marginalize, you cannot hurt their feelings, you cannot discriminate against them because they come from, some country that, they felt unsafe in. I'm telling you right now, those are the two things that's messing up not just America, not just Britain, but the entire Western world. Now, to you leftists, to all you lip turds and tards, I want to tell you this. You don't think before you speak, because everything you say gets contradicted by you. I'll give you a very simple example. Excuse me. During the day, you go on this rampage, this protest to get law enforcement off your back in the form of ICE or law enforcement. You get stopped by a policeman because you drove too fast and you swear at him. And when he asks your license, you give him shit, mostly because you're black or a minority. That happens more often than not. And then that night, someone comes and pisses you off enough, or you are in fear of your safety or in fear of your life. And what do? You dial 911. So the very thing you hated that day, you dial that night, less than 12 hours from when it happened. So what you do is you contradict yourself. You are a fucking hypocrite of the best freaking possible examples. I'll give you a